some states, over half the gas stations don't have fuel, and over 1,000 stations have run out across the country. But don't worry, Biden says people won't suffer for that much longer.
We have been in very, very close contact with Colonial Pipeline, which is the one area you're talking about where one of the reasons the gasoline prices are going up. And I think you're going to hear some good news in the next 24 hours.
Oh, and then there's the new massive inflation numbers. Prices spiked at the highest levels since 2008. And we can't forget about the record 8.1 million job openings. Businesses can't hire workers because Biden's paying them more to stay home. Katie, it is interesting on a day like today, the Democrats are more interested in talking about Republicans, and Republicans are interested in talking about the American people and how to help the American people because life in America is getting a lot more expensive.
Life in America is getting a lot more expensive. There is some news. Colonial Pipeline is now looking for a cybersecurity manager. So there's an opening. They either didn't have one or someone got fired. So hopefully they can get that under control
job pays
soon.
more than unemployment.
8.1.2.
Hopefully it does. Yes, hopefully it does. But yeah, I mean, Republicans are focused on these issues that affect everyday Americans. And look, when people can't get basic necessities, gasoline being one of them, the threshold is about 3 days before things start getting even worse. And when it comes to these rural areas where they don't have things like a metro, for example, like in Washington, D.C. or New York City, not having gas means you can't drive to the grocery store to get food for your kids. It means that you can't get to work, right? And so there are consequences to these things that happen, and it seems like the administration doesn't have much of a plan to give details about when Americans can expect to get back to work. I mean, you have Pete Buttigieg today, the guy who couldn't even fix potholes when he was the mayor of South Bend, going out and saying he doesn't really have a timeline and on the broader issue of the gas shortage. And so that's where they are.
All right. First and foremost, I want to say all praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash, the one to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to brothers on the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord willing, we are found in that number. All right. So what we have here and what we've been seeing over the past couple of weeks is the fall of Babylon, okay, and the uneasiness amongst the people. All right. So the so-called white man, he's bringing his country to the brink of destruction, okay? And the people, who walk about not knowing what the hell is going on, they're the ones that are going to feel the pain, okay? So as the gas prices rise, as the food prices rise, as the ability to be mobile in this country starts to slow down, you're going to start seeing, the people getting really, pissed off, if you will. There's no sound judgment in Esau. Okay? He doesn't give a damn if he kills his own people. As the scripture says, since he hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. All right, so let's get a couple of scriptures and kind of sift through this thing. I'm going to start here at Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Right? And more, as each passing day goes by, nobody's rejoicing over here. And I'm going to go back to that clip because you're going to see the one Uncle Tom, the only nigga on the panel, and just watch and listen to what he has to say. All right? These Edomites know that their time is up, man. They're pointing out the facts. America's the temperament in America is being brought to an all-time low. The ability for these so-called Americans to live peaceably and comfortably is coming to an end. And when the woman said, when there's a shortage of gas and food, shit, you only got 3 days, man, before shit starts becoming, uncontrollable. Okay? So it says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right? And this is what's about to start happening. The people are about to start going berserk out here. as the scriptures foretold anyway. We've been prophesying about these things for many years. I'm speaking from the head apostles on down. Been prophesying about these things for many years. And now we're starting to see them come to pass. You can always, people always try to justify, oh, you guys have been saying that for many years. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But understanding now the interconnection between prophecies of things that are happening. Sometimes, 10 years ago, you didn't have, as much rumors of war as you did today. 10 years ago, you didn't have, the people being uneasy as you do today. And for the past 30 years, 35 years or so, probably I'll say past 40 years. For the past 40 years, the presidents of America have been on a decline. And they call the president the chief and commander of this place. But slowly but surely, they're all each one that gets into office are getting worse and worse. And that's just another key token of how this place is falling, man. All right, continuing on. The people are vexed. 2nd Ezra 16. No, as a matter of fact, I want to go to 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra 15 now started about 14. It says, woe unto them that dwell therein. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. All right? Now, we've been talking about the race wars. We've been talking about, the insurrection of the people, the uprising of the people. We've been talking about these things. And what's going to spark that? What's going to spark all this shit is people losing their ability to eat, to move, people losing their ability to go to these banks and recoup their money. These things are going to be the spark that's going to light the fire over here, man. These are some of those tokens. One people shall stand up and fight against another. And this is exactly what's going to happen. It's not going to be a prophecy anymore. It's going to be reality. And when this thing starts to hammer down, man, y'all better watch out. You scoffers and scorners, you guys, you non-believers, you're going to get caught right up in the fire, man. And I'm not talking about the thermonuclear fire. I'm talking about that race war that's about to pop off. These militia groups, these so-called anti-government groups. They're going to have a goddamn field day out here, man. And it says, shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. All right? Sedition also is an uprising of a government or an establishment or of a particular group. People are going to get... You think that shit that happened over there in D.C. a while back was bad? You wait till there's going to be total anarchy out here, man. And this is why the scriptures say, keep continuing on, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You're going to do what you got to do to survive, man. And I don't give a goddamn if you're an Edomite, Moabite, Hamite, Israelite. It's going to affect everybody out here, man. But the sad thing about it all is, if you're an Edomite, knowing that this was your kingdom, man. This was your kingdom, and you have goddamn no clue what's going on out here. No clue. And your counterparts have left you in the goddamn dark, man. So all in all, you people are gonna get it the goddamn worst, man. Because you ain't gonna see it coming. You think you think that your privilege, if you will, is gonna sustain you and nobody's gonna come and touch you. You sadly mistaken, man. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right. Now keep in mind, man, the whole crux of what's going on here is how the elites are turning this country into a battlefield. It's going to be a civil war, a racial war, an economical war, a chemical war. You know, these are things that are on the horizon. Whether you believe it or not, we don't give a damn, man. But I tell you what, the more and more you start to see these things unfold, the more you people going to sit there and keep your goddamn mouth shut, and then realize, wow, these guys were the prophets. These guys were telling the truth. All right? The so-called white man is the cause and the start of all this shit, man. And this is why you got to separate yourself. Of course, you got to go to work. You deal with them at work. You deal with them, you know, on a basis of, hey, what's going on? Hey, you know, but other than that, you don't try to join hands with these devils, man. Don't try to join hands with them. Unlike Israel's just still trying to hold up America. Now, matter of fact, let me go back to this video. So I want you to hear what this Jake has to say. You know, you got all these Edomites talking about how bad it's going to get. There's no gas. There's going to be no food. There's going to be nothing that's going to help sustain the people. But listen to Jake real quick.
One, Greg mentioned it in the A block. The gas prices had gone up 50 cents before this hack. So what's Joe Biden's plan to reduce gas prices and to pay Russia back?
I think it was about a year ago, you could get a barrel of oil for nothing, Jesse. And the reason, and this is the context that's missing from what you've been saying, oh my gosh, the economy is going from 0 to 60 right now because we are putting COVID behind us thanks to more people getting vaccinations. And as that happens, as this economy takes off, happy days are here again for Americans. And so what you see is, you're going to see things like, oh my gosh, you can't rent a car all of a sudden because during the COVID thing, the rent-a-car companies were pushing cars out. Well, now they got to get them back. It's the same thing with the used car market. It's the same thing with lumber. There are going to be other blips. But basically, happy days are here, Jesse. And, you talk about, this as if it's like bad news for Americans. Fonzie. Americans know that we have right now come through some very difficult times, and we should, in fact, be proud of ourselves for having survived, and now we're about to thrive. And yeah, they're going to be blips, but Chicken Littles, I won't say like who, but Chicken Littles are not helping this. All they do is like...
You see, Jake is the only group of people on this goddamn planet that are trying to... make Babylon and give Babylon that thriving thrust into, happy days. You hear this, jackass? Happy days are here again. Talking about we nothing. You so-called black Puerto Ricans, Native Americans, you got nothing to do with this kingdom, man. The structure, the infrastructure is totally against you, man. When has happy days been here for Jake, man? When? This nigga's delusional, man. Straight up delusional. And the first thing he's going to push is what? The vaccine. The more people getting vaccinated. See, it's Uncle Tom's like this, man, that keep you Jakes in that crazy dark state of mind. All right? So from there, I want to go to, not too much more on this lesson. I want to go here. Revelation 11:18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets. Now, why would the prophets receive some type of reward? Okay? Certain men on the earth right now are doing exactly what the Lord has commanded them to do, without wavering, without second guessing. Okay? These are those men, from the head apostles on down and the hopeful elect. These are those men, Lord willing, are going to receive those rewards, man. And it says, into the saints, into them that fear thy name. Very important. To them that fear the name. A lot of you guys don't want to push the name. And it says, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth, man. Esau is the one who's in control. Esau is the one that's going around poisoning any and everything he can get his goddamn hands on. So he needs to go. So this whole thing about the gas prices and the food prices is all set up through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, but he's using Esau as that key figure to usher these things in, man. Destroy these devils that destroy the earth. There's no ifs and buts about it. They got to go. They have got to go. They have got to go. All right? So the word insurrection, it says a violent uprising against an authority or government. These things we're going to start to see. Okay? And Esau is now going to start trying to push out the chariots and, you know, what they are and where they're coming from, this, that, and the third. It's all it's all being revealed, man. It's all being revealed. And believe you me, they're going to start revealing what these chariots are. And Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai said, and then shall it be known who am I chosen. So there's going to be no question of who's the Lord's people, who are the true prophets, who did the Lord set up. There's going to be no question, man. For all you guys and all you individuals out there who are struggling and trying to wonder why and figure out who the Lord is referring to and who and what nation is the true people, the time is going to come. It's going to be revealed. All right? All right, so with that, I'm going to end it right there. I got to get on in here to work. But Lord willing, I'll see you brothers on another show. I say shalom.